everyone, Coping Skills here, back with more Dimash. So I've officially finished what I wanted to, setting out with the singer or I Am Singer competition. Did all of the performances from 2017, did Hello from 2018. At the end of this song, there'll be a link to a playlist with all the Dimash reactions that I've gotten done so far. So you can wait for that if you haven't seen those ones yet. But yeah, I've been looking forward to getting some of his new stuff. There's been tons of suggestions, and this is one of the suggestions that has probably been said the most since I did my very first Dimash reaction. So I know this song is in English, and that's pretty much all I know. But this is 4 years later, 3 years later than Hello, 4 years later than most of the performances that I've seen, and I think it's probably the most recent. I can't remember when the SOS at the Slavic Bazaar. I don't remember what year that was, and I also did Sinful Passion. I can't remember when that one was. I did those two first. So yeah, I'm excited for more Dimash. If you're new to the channel, I'm a licensed mental health counselor in Florida. Started doing reaction videos to raise mental health awareness and hopefully say something that helps somebody out there. But got a lot of interest, so you may hear a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Without further ado, let's get to Dimash. Stranger, New Wave 2021.
Спасибо. Спасибо огромное. А теперь прозвучит новая песня. Примерно.
Hey, I want to say right off the bat there, man, I love the stage. It was blue before, but now it's white, so I guess, these lights can change colors. Man, he looks a little bit older. I'm used to seeing a 22-year-old Dimash, so he's probably like 26 here, 25, 26. And I know now he's 30. So I'm looking forward to even more recent Dimash to come in the future. But yeah, I'm excited. But as soon as I was pausing it, man, I noticed this sound, this stringed instrument, and I see this guy here, but I don't recognize it. So I'm going to go back a little bit and try to listen for that, and we'll see. But I'm excited. That's cool. All right, so I know Dimash has a flair for the theatrical, so I think we're in for a journey here. But man, what is that instrument? Let me know below. I don't know what that one is. I've learned several different new instruments from listening to Dimash. There was a couple of stringed instruments already, and then a flute, and I think a type of drum. I think, but yeah, a bunch of them. So that's cool. I love learning new stuff.
You crown as far as I can see. You crown underneath my feet. Straight chance to know who I am if I have the strength to begin again.
And I really don't want to pause it. I just want to watch. Man, that's man, he has so much control over that breathiness, and he's just laying it on thick. That man, that breathy control. Man, it's beautiful, and the piano playing's lovely, and the like the choir, the backup singers, um, beautiful, really well done. I noticed they all had hands-free mics when they were kind of walking through with the candles. So that's a lot of mixing going on because that's a lot of different voices, but man, they're blended very well. I really like the reverb effect. That kind of gave that echoey bit after his breathy control. Yeah, I wanna hear that again.
You crown far as I can see. You crown underneath my feet. Stranger in a stranger's land. New chance to know who I am if I have the strength to begin again.
That's a cool effect because it's going left, right, panning as well. That again. So that's really cool. It's going to get into like a little bit of like a Middle Eastern vibe here. I noticed kind of the transition the first time. It was really cool. Here, I just kind of wanted to comment on the lyrics of the song. It's beautiful about a kind of a new journey to a new land, kind of a new start, fresh start for somebody. If they have the strength to begin again, to kind of recreate themselves or build something new in this new land, stranger in a new land, right? Yeah, it's that's cool. Not too long ago, I I started digging into like my heritage, right? So I'm an American, but how far back did I have to go um, to find out who the original um, who the original people were that came over and from what countries, right? They came over, and I was able to dig and do some research and find the exact boat that my let me see if I get it right. My great great grandfather, around 1853, so like right around the end of the Civil War in the United States, came over from Germany, and he came over with his three brothers. I don't know if you guys find this interesting at all, but I thought it was kind of cool, and it just really reminded me of this. So I found the exact boat. Their father had passed away, so my great 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 grandfather had passed away, leaving behind a wife, a 4 sons, and I think 3 or 4 daughters. In I think in like North Germany, I think is where it was. Can't remember the exact town off the top of my head or region. It's been a little while since I looked it up. But anyway, so 3 brothers, age 14, 16, and 18, right? And my great-great-grandfather was the 14-year-old. And the 18-year-old was trained as a cobbler, I think. No, as a shoemaker, right? So, and the other two at 16 and 14 didn't have much training, but they came over and they came over all together through the port of New Orleans. And then my great-great-grandfather went and settled in Illinois, got a plot of land, and was a farmer. And that's where my kind of heritage went from my father's side of the family. And my mother's side of the family, talked to my dad, and my uncle, his brother, had traced it back once, and through my grandmother's side of the family, still on my dad's side, came over on the Mayflower. So that was kind of interesting, right? So a descendant of the first immigrants to America from England. And then on my mom's side of the family, one half kind of came over from Germany, and the other half came over from Ireland, right? So I got a hodgepodge of all kinds of different Northern European blood in me. But that's who I am. A lot of German, English, a little Irish, and somehow on my mother's side of the family, it traces to Robert the Bruce. Yeah, so interesting. I mean, it's diluted. I'm not royalty by any stretch of the imagination, so don't get it twisted. But interesting to trace things back and see where you come from. But all that to say that Dimash here singing this song about a stranger in a new land really reminded me of my great-great-grandfather coming over to the United States at 14 years old with only his 2 brothers and making a life for himself as a farmer. Pretty crazy, right? Can't even imagine. And people do it every day still today. It's amazing. Anyway, back to Dimash. So yeah, I said Irish, but it's Scottish. So that was just a faux pas on my part, obviously. Robert the Bruce is Scottish. My sincerest apologies to all the Scots out there that and saying Irish. So yeah, Scottish, not Irish. My fault.
Somewhere.
Wait a minute. Was that Dimash? Okay, I need to go back. My mind was elsewhere. I apologize for the big story.
Somewhere in my heart, in ancient times, I wandered through these valleys. I have climbed them on these hills. Faces from my past, somehow divide their memories. I've said lost, I've lost. feel them in me sing. You come far as I can see. You come underneath my feet. Stranger in a stranger's land. You chance to know who I am if I had the strength to begin again.
How he has displayed like 5 different, drastically different techniques and ranges and styles. Like that low note, that surprised me. I know in SOS, in both versions that I've reacted to, he hit pretty low, but nothing like that. Is that the lowest that he's gone, or has he gone even lower than that? Let me know in the comments, because I don't know what note that was, but man, there was some low notes. Whew. But then he like went up a notch, and it was like just kind of his normal singing voice, and then he kind of went into this operatic thing. He's already done the breathy thing, and okay, yeah, he's just putting everything on display here, isn't he? Man. All right, going back a bit, I want to hear that low note again.
Somewhere in my heart, in ancient times, I wandered through these valleys. I have climbed them on these hills. Faces from the past, somehow divide the memories. I've said lost, I've lost, I feel them in me sing.
Man, he is on point right now. Just incredible. I don't know what to say. Man, those low notes in the lyrics of the video, I was trying to find my brain, my thoughts. I'm so disconjointed. Hey, I told way too much about myself. I kind of went off this story and then get hit over the head with like a bag of potatoes. This low note, and then going up and then up again. These full chest operatic kind of notes, but yeah, the lyrics are really cool. Talking about the struggle, overcoming challenges in a new world. I referenced like people moving to a new country, but transitions like that, it doesn't even have to be that big. It could be a new school, it could be a new relationship, it could be a new job, and having to redo hurdles that you've done once before or twice before or more. You have to brace yourself for that new challenge again. And all of those things cause stress. Being aware of your stress levels is super important, right? So that you don't have a kind of a breakdown and aren't able to kind of keep going forward. And every change in life causes stress. So you have to be aware about how much stuff in your life is changing so that you can correspond with some self upkeep. So if you're going through a lot of changes in life, it doesn't mean that you won't be able to handle it. It just means that you got to try a little bit harder and you got to put effort in the right places. So that means if you've got like, if you're like, I don't know, let's say you moved, you are in a new relationship and a new job, and got a new dog. Who knows, right? All those things will add up and add stress, and each one individually seems like it's not that much, but all together, it's a lot. So, got to be aware of that. You got to take it easy, give yourself time to process those things, and be aware that you're taking on a lot just because of the change, so that you don't get overstressed or stressed out, and then kind of have a breakdown or some really negative moments where your emotions just kind of pour out in anger, depression, anxiety, whatever it may be, right? Anyway, it's my mental health little tidbit for now, but really I just want to get to the rest of this song. But yeah, lyrics are beautiful. His singing's incredible. I didn't know he could go that low. Yeah, let's go back a bit and carry on.
To know who I am if I had the strength to begin again. New crown far as I can see.
Or what is this man doing to me? Like, I don't understand. I have chills all over, goosebumps, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what to call what I just heard. Some of those techniques were crazy, and then he went high. I think that was like whistle registry. So some whistle notes, because that was high, and like the texture of those notes was like Mariah Carey ish, right? Yeah, that's so interesting. You know, from singing a little bit in my past, and playing some instruments and being around band members, and actually used to do some live sound uh, engineering, right? With like the vocal cords, right? When you're normally singing, right? They're like kind of a little bit wavy, but they're closing, right? And when you get a really good note, they're closing all the way, right? So there's no like gap. And they can open when you're breathing, right? But then when you're like whispering, like if you were like, they're not closing at all until you're actually producing some vibrations and some sound waves, then they're closing a little bit. So when you're singing really high, you're kind of closing off this top part, and so like your falsetto might just be opening this little bit to get a high note, and your low notes are trying to open up a lot of it, but they're still like closing, right? But the whistle registry, what I'm told is, you learn how to close the bottom of it, and the air's just getting through this little bit here, so you learn how to control this part of the vocal closure instead of the normal this part, and that's how you get up really high. And if you learn how to control that, you can still get vibrato and all that kind of stuff. But that's why it's so difficult for people to learn how to do a whistle registry, because it's actually closing a different part of the vocal cords. At least that's my understanding of it. I'm talking a lot during this reaction, but man, there's so much in here. Not just the singing, but the lyrics and the meaning of the lyrics, and I don't know how many techniques he's used. You throw out the book again, but I'm gonna hear this bit again where he kind of goes through the roof.
Димаш Кудайберген!
Игорь Крутой!
Браво!
Спасибо огромное! Спасибо большое. Люблю вас сильно, пресильно.
Браво! Ну, конечно, невероятные эмоции мы испытываем от голоса Димаша.
Спасибо
Димаш
огромное.
Кудайберген, браво!
Спасибо огромное. Спасибо, спасибо. Игорь Крутой! И лучший попзист мира, мой друг, гость из Казахстана, Олжас Хурманбек. Спасибо!
I don't even know what to say. How long did he hold that note? Too long. And then right before that, just kind of that he like did a fist bump and then sound effect, and then he just belted. Man. Also wanted to say, not that it matters, but man, his English pronunciation and enunciation has improved greatly since 2017, 2018. There was some slight stuff there with some pronunciation, but it was so minor. Like, his English has improved quite a bit. Immensely. Is this a song that he does at his concerts? routinely because man, that's a workout. That is some vocal gymnastics all over the place for that song. And he went so low into the whistle registry. I mean, there's got to be like, if I had to count them, like 6 octaves, easy, maybe 7, that he's singing in this song. Plus techniques, man. And I didn't even say, like, the whole time I was thinking, man, this could be like a movie soundtrack almost, or a song in a movie, like almost like a Pirates of the Caribbean, something epic, right? Like Gladiator or some, I don't know, like Roman mythology type of, I don't know, something epic. Because man, this was an epic display of proportions. I'm gonna stop talking and I don't even know what to think. Click on something else and listen, and try to collect yourselves. I'm gonna go collect myself.